So I love the idea of getting curious, genuinely curious. My experience is most people don't know how to actually do that well. And they have a tendency, they think they're being curious, but what they're really being is judgmental. Why are you wearing that blue shirt today? Well, I'm asking you a question, but there's a judgmental undertone to that. Yeah. So I would love to get your thoughts on how we can catch ourselves in those situations, and what are some either question sentence stems to use or to avoid that will help us be in that more respectful, genuinely curious, generative place versus really being more of a judgmental, critical place.
That's a really good question. Yes, it's really hard to not want to be right. It's really hard to not push our agenda. And we have sneaky ways of working it in, even when we think we're listening or we think we're asking questions. And the most common way we do that is by asking rhetorical questions, which most commonly begin with the word why, but it can also be done asking what questions. But we know it's a rhetorical question when there's an implied stupid at the end. Now, why would you say that? Our tone of voice communicates. Why would you do that? What would make you think that's a good idea? Stupid. We usually don't explicitly say the stupid, but they hear it loud and clear. And because that's a common practice, occurrence in our language, it's important in most cases to avoid asking any why questions. It is possible to ask legitimate why questions. I'm trying to understand and get more information, but that only works when I'm in a relationship in the moment with the person where clearly we're not feeling defensive with each other, where we know that we're both on the same side of the table trying to understand something. Then I can ask why questions safely. But what is more productive most of the time is to begin my questions with what. Tell me what led you to that conclusion. Tell me what experiences you've had. What information informs that assumption in your part? What do you know about that? Tell me more. Explain to me more what your thinking is, how you're seeing the situation. What are you feeling? What do you need? Those are what questions.
Okay, so
go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask then, if we've done a good job of this and we've asked these curious questions and we're starting to identify needs, and something you shared with me years ago that I think speaks to this point is that you said this to me, it's stayed with me ever since. We all hold a piece of the truth. And I think that's part of what we're trying to do, is identify the pieces of truth from the other party as well as ourselves. So if we've done all this, at what point do we start to pivot into finding common solutions, something that will get both parties what they need?
My experience is that, the only reason really that people talk to each other is because they need something. Needs are the reason why people communicate with each other. If I don't perceive you as somehow being able to help me meet my needs, I just go take care of it myself. So the only reason we're having a conversation is because we both need something. And if we can't understand what we both need, but understanding is not enough, we also have to accept that the needs on both sides are legitimate. when we do that, it opens up more options for us. When I'm defending a solution, I'm eliminating all other options. But when I can refocus on defining and understanding what all the common and differing needs are, I get a more complex picture. I'm beginning to see things from multiple perspectives, or maybe from a historical perspective. I'm getting new information. I'm understanding how you're thinking. That's different than how I'm doing. I'm understanding how this is impacting you. And in doing that, I understand more clearly what you need. My job in any conversation, in any negotiation, whether it's formal or day-to-day communication, is to make it as easy as possible for other people to understand me. That should be my objective in beginning any conversation. How do I make it easy for them to understand me? Pushing against them, arguing with them, asking rhetorical questions, being derisive, name-calling, gaslighting, none of those are effective processes. They're not going to get me what I need. They're not going to get the commitment I want from the other person. But when I can listen to you so that you feel understood and respected, and when I can explicitly say, so here's what I hear you say. I think that's valid. It's different than what I need, but we're two different people. We need different things. So how do we figure out how to get both of our needs met? I have never not in that situation found that we came up with new and creative solutions that took care of both of our needs.